Hello friends, welcome to Pro Trading Zone. We are going to see what happened in the market today, and market was behaving exactly what we wanted today. And at any point of time we were in a positive, and moreover the trade was in very much in control of ours as our direction and the views were on the dot spot. So if you start by examining what happened on the starting of the day, you could see the market opened exactly flat. This is the as flat as it can get in a market, and it just jumped at least 400 points straight in one candle for 15 minutes. If you consider 5 minute time frame, you could see a 5 minute time frame tells you that one candle of 5 minute went up 5 5 minute gave you 400 points. But this is something that no one can expect what can happen. So that's why every time what we do is wait for the price action. So once it came down, we looked for a pivot point, and this was considered by me as a pivot point because it was giving support on so many locations. It is more evident when we do on 15 minutes chart. So you could see the top of that candle, the first candle, I have considered as an important pivot point, and it went through another price action movement that took place yesterday or the last trading session of Friday. So once it went through here, I was more confident that this could be an important point to play with. And this is VWAP. VWAP is a standard deviation of 1 that helped us to understand the trend and what could be the lower points that we need to be considering. And it acted beautifully to tell us what is exactly happening between the market where there were no clear points or giving us the understanding. What you could have done over here is just draw a simple trending line over here. A trending line over here, but it wouldn't have made much understanding to you because there were spikes over here. And if you want to take a really good trend direction, you would have to consider all these points also. So I will take this one and drag it along like this. It wouldn't have made much sense for us. So I didn't consider to draw a trending line here today. What I took is the support of one deviation of VWAP. This also acts beautifully in the conditions where there is more prone to be movement in either of the directions. So today being a very bullish day, there was no such sign yesterday which told that today is going to be a bullish day. But the price action, what came along as the time passed, it showed that it is a bullish day today, and this is something we expect for tomorrow as well. I expect that tomorrow will also be a bullish day and it could be a good day to trade with. But you have to consider that price action is superior. All your guess, your predictions can go wrong anytime. So you have to keep an eye on price action and take your predictive trade at that point of time. So one of the problem that I found with my trading partners is that they try to trade something that they think in their brain. Even though there is no price action being created over here, they try to trade with their gut or they try to trade with their brain, which tells them this is something could happen. And this is a recipe for disaster because thinking what will happen is totally different what exactly the price action is telling you, because just by assumption you cannot know what will happen. You have to let that happen in market and consider that thing as a confirmation to take a trade. Do not do preemptive measures to take a trade. Just to give you an example, today when I posted my shorts, I gave you a channel between 34,682, that is 34,700 and 35,002. So I told don't take much of a trade right now. Over here, once it showed that it is going to the either of the direction, it was in the middle. I told don't take directional trade right now, let the channel to be broken first and then take a trade. But what I suggested was you could take a short straddle or short strangle positions. So around here around here I told in my shorts on YouTube that you should take a short strangle or short straddle position, and market didn't run as much as it was moving in the other days of the last week, but still it had a movement. We took a counter trade later on, but it only enhanced our returns later and keeping our trading pattern and our drawdown to the minimum. So today was a very low drawdown day, and this is something what happened. I gave a prediction that or gave a trade that you should trade a short straddle or short strangle over here. Market shot up. As soon as it shot up, I will take a 3 minute. As soon as it shot up from there, there was some price action over here. Over here, until and unless it didn't make much sense to us, we didn't trade. As soon as it caught up over here, we made a trade to go long, but our this trade was hit by a stop loss, and we took a stop loss over here because one of the things that worked today was VWAP with standard deviation of 1. If you could see, there was a clear trend line which was acting as a support. Even though I didn't drew any of the trend line, it acted as a trend line. It gave me a beacon of understanding where not to trade. Even though it came down over here, but I saw that was a very strong pivot line over here. I didn't took a short trade, even though I saw 4 consecutive uh, candles which showed a bearish pattern. I didn't take any short trade. I just waited over here what to do. If it would have broken down over here, I would have thought taken a short trade. But today, as I was bullish, I wouldn't have taken any short trades, because once you try to juggle around, you only create a nuisance for you, and you do not have your psychology on the point. Okay, so once it broke, we were in short straddle, and when it crossed over here, I gave a long call over here and asked to hold just enough to get out of around this zone. This zone gave us approximately 100 points in call. When we buy something, we buy it in ITM, that's it, in the money. I was trading in 35,000 of strike price, but I knew that it is just gonna be outside and the market is bullish. It can just counter it anytime and it can be in the money later on. So exactly that same thing happened. So I took a trade on 35,000 and make a good amount of money over there also. And I gave an exit for directional trade over here approximately, because I considered this to be a very important pivot point. Just to give you an understanding why it was an important pivot point, this will be more clear on 15-minute chart. You can see on the 15-minute chart, I get this as an important pivot point because I felt that this could be a good zone to consider as a resistance or a support for whatever part happens with the market. Right now it was going from bottom to top, so it was a resistance, but from top to bottom it could have been support. There could be some play over here because yesterday's opening candle and the trade where there were big candles that were breaking down and market was going up was in the same zone, and this was also an important pivot point. I took this as an important pivot point over here. Later it proved me right. It was a very important pivot point over here. So I told to exit over here, even though you would have carried along this, but this was a confirmed trade that would have not given you much tension because it was in a channel. So we took an ITM trade of call of 35,000 and we made a good amount of money. First it was on ATM, approximately ATM, or out of the money, let's say 100 points, but as soon as it market moved up, it became ITM and we made a good amount of money of approximately 80 points or something. Later I told that you should exit your short call of your short strangle and short straddle. Once you exited over here, you can see it came down. It's always that you would be finding a counter trade happening immediately after you make a trade, but you have to understand we trade probabilities. When we trade probabilities, you have to consider that the market can go on the either of the direction. So I was not ready to trade something that would have harmed my position on the long side, because as my view was long, I considered this as a important support line and it acted beautifully today. Once it went above, it came down again, but it broke it with a very strong bullish candle, which gave me a confirmation that today is going to be a bullish day. Even though market comes down, the overall trend has changed to bullish. So it hovered over here. Here I told to exit my short position of call for short straddle and short strangle and let my short put carry along the day so that we can increase our profit. So we booked some of the loss over here in our call side, and I have given a stop loss of not more than 20% while trading, or whatever the less amount that you want to lose while trading or you're comfortable while trading. So once I gave this, it moved up, it came down again, and it moved again up. And as soon as it started moving up, we we were in the short put. It helped us to take a very long rally. We were sitting on the very long rally, which helped us to increase our profit. So from short straddle and short strangle, we went to a directional trade that was short put, which gave us a very good rally over here. And this pivot point of 35,422 was an important, and you can see there was some consolidation over here and the market turned. I told just to exit everything over here, because whenever I find that in which direction market goes is not something I'm comfortable with, and the profit that you are sitting on could be lost just because of one big candle, and you could see the channel was extremely big. So I just considered to save my profits and exited over here. As I exited in next 1 2 candle, it just fell down. All this trade was given in the short that I upload in the current market, and the live trades are given by me over there also. So I exited, and even though it came down, I don't care. I was out of the market. All my positions were exited and I was sitting on a good profit. So what will happen tomorrow? Now, by considering the larger picture, you could see, now considering the larger picture, we would be considering bigger time frame, let's say 1 hour. This was the channel which was showing us the market is on the short side. But later, when it changed its direction over here, it went up, it consolidated, it created a retracement on the long time frame of 1 hour, and then it started going up. Now, tomorrow, this is going to be a very interesting point to consider what happens in the market. Right, in the last 1 hour, it took a dive. If market opens about 35,400, it is going to be a bullish day. If market doesn't open much above or just 200 points above, it is going to be a bullish day. but if it opens below 35,200 or 300, this could be an important pivot point, that is 35,074, and it can just go down. So tomorrow is going to be a directional day, and either it can go up or it can go down. You have to consider at least 2 to 300 points as your channel. Like this, we consider horizontal channel, so we do not have to think much about the other charting patterns, and it also serves me good when I have to take a very strong decision whether to enter a trade or not to enter a trade. So if it breaks, I will enter a trade. 300 points above, I will enter a trade. 300 points below, I will enter a trade. If it's above, I will go long. If it is below, I will go short on the futures. If not, if you want to trade by doing buying the options, buy in the money options for call when the market goes up, buy in the money options for put when market goes down. And if you are doing short, I would suggest that you should do short little bit out of the money. Even though if market turns around, you will get a good theta decay as VIX is very high, the premium are very high. VIX will, I believe VIX will go down tomorrow, but not sure. If the volatility is high, then VIX could shoot up and it could create a nuisance for the short seller. For tomorrow, I consider that market should be directional. Just follow my shorts tomorrow. You would be understanding how charts work in the real time environment and how market is playing games with you in the real hours, and I could be one of the beacon that you can consider while trading. You can do your analysis first and then look at my shorts. It will help you to make a decision what to do in your market. You would be self-reliant as soon as possible. So if you liked my analysis, I would like you to click a like button, share with your friends, and more importantly, subscribe to my channel. You would be getting continuous updates about what is happening in the market, what is going to be the trend in next hour, or what is something that you should consider that has changed in the market. If market takes reversal, or you should hold on, or you should take a trade. So subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Okay, see you tomorrow in the live session.